Here in Tampa, Florida for the GOP convention, talking to Congressman Jeb Hensarling of the beautiful state of Texas. Good to see you, sir.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
You have a district that goes from Dallas to like nowhere. It's like the middle of nowhere, Texas. How varied is your district?
Well, I would respectfully disagree with the nowhere part. It takes in urban Dallas, suburban Dallas County, and a lot of great folks in rural East Texas.
Yes.
Great place to live, work, raise a family. So yeah, it's urban, suburban, and rural. I love it.
But my point is you have such a varied, you have so many different constituencies, you have so many different interests. How do you keep all your constituents' interests together?
Well, all I can do is tell people what I believe the genius of America is all about, and it's frankly all about freedom. It's all about the federal government was put here to preserve our God-given rights. People want to have greater opportunity. We are on the verge of losing the greatest opportunity Americans have ever had, and that's the opportunity for our children to have a better life. So they know that Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan and myself are working, number one, on a fair, flatter, simpler tax code. We're going to get rid of all the president's automatic tax increases for American families and small businesses. They know that we want to put the nation on the road to fiscal sanity. We want to be America. We don't want to be Greece. And with Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan and the work I'm doing, the people know that. So what are they united in? They're united in wanting to have an opportunity society with a social safety net for those who are too old, too young, too disabled to help themselves. But otherwise, they want an America where you are only bound by the size of your dreams. And all they get with Barack Obama is failed policies. And so it's quite easy to unite them.
Let's say Barack Obama were to win a second term. How bad would that be for this country?
My brain doesn't go there. I do not allow for the possibility. I'm not sure how much more damage one man can do. I mean, bless his heart, he's clueless when it comes to what does it take to create a job in American society. Ultimately, I fear he doesn't believe in the same American exceptionalism that we do. Ultimately, I believe he's putting us on the path to becoming a European-style social democracy, but millions of our countrymen remain unemployed. He's given our nation its first, second, third, and now fourth trillion-dollar deficit. We are drowning in a sea of red ink. People's take-home pay is down. The price of gas is almost twice as much, and this guy's been in charge for 4 years. Bottom line is, he's clueless when it comes to the opportunity engine of America, and that is jobs created by small business. It shows. I shudder to think of what could happen to this country should he be reelected. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that doesn't happen.
What do you guys do right in Texas when it comes to the unemployment rate that should be done in the rest of the country? Because the unemployment rate of Texas is really something to behold, especially when you consider 8.3 for the nation.
Well, under Governor Rick Perry and a lot of other good people in Austin, we've established a climate to where people actually want to start new businesses in Texas. Contrary to what Barack Obama has done in America, according to the World Bank, America has gone from 4th to 13th as far as being in ease of starting a new business. We now trail powerhouses, economic powerhouses like Macedonia and Rwanda. Yeah, I said that with tongue in cheek. So in Texas, under Governor Perry's leadership, we have a very low tax environment. We have sound regulation that is based upon a cost-benefit analysis of what is the impact. But we also, philosophically, we celebrate success in Texas. The president vilifies it. He holds it up as something to be envied. We say, you know what, success is something good. We want you to work hard, that if you play by the rules, you work hard, you're virtuous, you're limited only by the size of your dreams. And so people are leaving places like California and Michigan every day because they want to set up shop in Texas. And that's why our people have the best health care program, housing program, nutritional program known to mankind, and that's a job through the American Free Enterprise System. And most of them can be found in Texas.
Congressman, this president also seems to have a war on oil, on coal, on fracking. Texas, of course, just watching the show Dallas, you know about big oil and the importance of the oil industry. If the government got out of the way, how much more could Texas contribute to this country?
Well, the short answer is a lot. The longer answer is really for the first time in our lifetime when somebody says, I can see in the near future, America being totally energy independent. For the first time, we can actually see that. It has everything to do with fracking, it has everything to do with horizontal drilling, it has everything to do with the new technologies. So it's not a lack of us having the energy. But unfortunately, the president believes in kind of his aspect of green crony capitalism. Listen, I believe in the green technologies as well. I just don't want to force taxpayers to subsidize them. And I don't want to force families to use them if they're not economically viable. And so families are suffering. Millions are unemployed. People are trying to figure out, how am I going to afford to take a kid to school, an elderly parent to the doctor? You know, small businesses have to pay energy bills, and yet the president, for all intents and purposes, has declared war on carbon-based energy, and he's hurting working Americans. This has got to stop. We could literally, in a decade, be energy independent if we would simply use the resources that we have here in America, but the president wants to lock them up, and that's one of the reasons that the price of gas has almost doubled under his watch, and working families suffer.
Congressman, last question. Congressional ratings have been recently very low, and they seem to be going lower. Does that hurt, bother, offend you? And what do you do personally to get the perception of Congress, get a better perception in the public?
Well, if I was easily offended, I would have never run for Congress in the first place. Listen, I understand. The American people are unhappy, and rightfully so. They see a broken Washington. But I have to remind them that there is a Democrat Senate that hasn't even bothered to pass a budget in 3 years, even though they're legally obligated to do that. And so I understand their frustration, but I also see a certain amount of frustration with the president, and hopefully people will focus on that quintessential question, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? And if not, you know, is that the president's responsibility, or is it House Republicans? Senate Democrats wouldn't pass a budget. The president, for the first 2 years when he was in office, he had supermajorities of his party. They gave him every single thing he wanted. They gave him the stimulus. They gave him the Wall Street bailout bill. They gave him Obamacare. Everything he asked for, he got, and the nation's suffering. And so I understand people are frustrated, but I would have them reflect upon that and say, maybe your frustration ought to lie with the president, and maybe it's time for President Mitt Romney to work with a Republican Congress to bring jobs and hope and opportunity and reclaim the first principles of our republic that made us great.
Congressman Hensarling, it's very nice to talk to you. Thank you, sir.
Thanks for having me here.